Hello, it is Alyssa and I'm filming a video now. Yeah, after like 3 months or so, I'm finally filming another video. By the title of this video, I'm sure you probably already know what I'm going to be talking about. And that is why exactly I randomly leave like every few months or so and then come back and then leave again and then come back. And I just really wanted to give you all an explanation for that because, well, it gives me a chance to really explain things that I want to explain, and I mean it also is it's a reason for why I've been gone. It's a chance for me to be honest with you guys and talk about what's going on. And I do just want to make things clear that this video is not all fun and sugar-coated and happy and rainbows and sunshine and all that. It's kind of the opposite. And if that's something that you do not want to deal with right now and want to hear right now, please don't watch this video. Please, I don't want to cause anybody pain or unhappiness or anything like that. This is just a video for me to be able to explain myself in a way that I've wanted to for a while, and also for you guys to have an explanation. So, this video is not scripted at all in any way, no notes that I have or anything. I usually have some kind of notes for videos, but this one I just want to talk and be as honest as I possibly can with you guys. This is a serious thing. This is, yeah, super serious. I know lots of times I'm not really all that serious, but I'm really going to try and keep this pretty serious. So for those of you who have been with me, you know, long enough, you know that I have had lots of times in the past, in the, yeah, like very distant past, that where I have left YouTube suddenly, I don't know where, for like 3 months, usually around 3 months at a time, and then I'd come back and make a whole bunch of videos and then leave again. That's happened, I'm not sure exactly how many times it's happened, but it's happened enough. Part of that, or really all of that, is because of what I live with myself and what I've been living with for quite some time. So let's talk when, see, I can't even speak right now properly. Let's talk about when I went into high school. Let's just say, let's keep this very simple for now. I might do a video on it later. At this point, when I was in high school, I have been dealing with severe anxiety since I was about 10 years old in elementary school. And there were also other more serious things that I'd have to like really get into to explain, so I'm not going to. And around this time is when the depression started. It started as just kind of dysthymia, which For those of you who don't know, that's just a fancy word for like a low-grade depression, where you're just kind of like going along, just kind of like low mood, like not necessarily like super happy or great. You're just kind of like, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm getting by, but maybe I'm not, you know, sleeping the best, or my concentration isn't the best. That's dysthymia, and that's kind of what I started to experience in high school. Yeah, I wasn't really getting by in school. I wasn't really sleeping that well. Wasn't having too great of a time. Was dealing with my other anxiety issues. Things weren't the best. Let's just fast forward a little bit to when I was a little bit older. Not quite to where I am now, but almost there. I'm just getting out of high school. I'm done with high school. My parents, my brother, and me all moved where I live now. I take a break from school for a little bit. Take a break before I go into college. I take that break. I focus on moving. Everything's good. I have a really good relationship with my boyfriend. Everything's going pretty well. And this is because I finally started therapy around this point, like started actually getting treatment, and things were going better. I had actually started taking medication around high school as well, and it was finally starting to work out for me at this point after high school is over. Then I get into college. First semester is wonderful. I'm doing great. I actually get really good grades. I focused on my homework, and I think it's all because that medication I was taking just, oh man, it was such a lifesaver for me at that point. Sometimes medication is just really, really good, honestly. And even though therapy is the best thing to have for depression and anxiety besides exercise, medication can really help. It's wonderful. And this medication just really helped me get through school, and I met a new therapist who was just wonderful. I'm still seeing her today. It was great. That was kind of around the time I decided to start making YouTube videos, and did good with that. It was going well. And let's go to the next school semester, the next year after that. That's when grades are starting to drop again. Having more trouble concentrating, not sleeping very well, not feeling very well either, as in, not physically but mentally, having really negative thoughts, and thoughts like feeling very guilty, and lots of thoughts associated with my anxiety issues. After this semester ended, and my parents were like, "What is going on with you? What is like happening? Your grades are really not good." I had like straight A's and some B pluses in my first semester of college, and then after that I had like C's and D's, and I even failed some classes. My parents want to know what the heck was going on. Around this time, that was when my therapist I have now diagnosed me with major depressive disorder, which that's what most people think of when we think of depression. So that's like, if you have no motivation to do anything at all, even the things you love to do, you feel horrible about yourself constantly, constant horrible negative thoughts. You either can't sleep at all, or you sleep way too much. You don't care about anything. Can't really function even. Nothing really matters to you. Not even grades. Or if you have a job, that job goes down the drain because maybe you just stop going to that job. Because, who cares? Yeah. The whole apathy thing is a big part of the depression. And that was something that was really starting to show with me at that point. So, we upped my medication, all that fun stuff, more therapy, and then, I start feeling better again. Now, onto more present day, and instead of this depression and anxiety getting better, it gets worse. I have these sudden dips in mood. So normally, like right now, I'm kind of at a dysthymia, as I mentioned earlier. We're just kind of going along. That's how I feel now. But then I will get this big dip. Like I said, this big dip in my mood that is just a plunge. Like this absolute just plunge. It's like, I like to think of it as like you are walking along outside somewhere and then you just fall into this really deep, dark hole. And that's major depression. And that major depression that I get happens every few months or so. That is exactly why I believe so much. And instead of just, not telling you guys and like coming back and be like, well, yeah, I felt kind of iffy and stuff, but I'm back now. And no, I'm gonna be honest with you guys now. I'm just gonna tell you. With major depression, there are definitely situations that can cause it, or like a loved one is, you lose a loved one. You go into a major depression. This is, for me, it's more like I don't know why it happens. Maybe it's more biological. And it's just like, well, I have dysthymia, and then suddenly a major depressive episode. And then back up to, I feel a little better and I can function and get another job and try to go to school. And then, whoa, more major depression, I can't function. And it's gotten really bad lately. And that's why, like, the last time I left, that was the worst. That time, I had really negative thoughts. Suicidal thoughts. I self-harmed. This is something, like, it makes me really nervous to tell you guys, but again, this is something I can be honest with, and it's something that is very common, and it's something I want people to realize that it is common, and it's not something to be afraid of. And that's cutting. I cut myself in the past, and when I get to that low point, that's when those really bad thoughts come in. Feeling like I shouldn't be around people. My boyfriend and I get into lots and lots of fights, and it's all my fault, and I just should leave everybody alone. And then all these thoughts about hurting myself, and all these suicidal thoughts. And it got to the point where I almost went to the hospital multiple times. I've had to see my therapist like twice a week, which is quite a lot. I've changed my medication. I've been really like going hard at it with therapy, and I've been doing a lot better lately, and I haven't had a major depression episode in a while. But yeah, I've been really trying to focus on feeling a lot better and focusing on myself lately, until finally I've decided I can come back and be honest with you guys. If that was way too personal for you and you're like, oh my god, Alyssa, why did you have to say all that? Like, to me, this is something that I think we need to get used to talking about. And when I say we, I mean like humans, us, the people. We need to get used to talking about mental illness and all this stuff, and suicidal thoughts and self-harm, anxiety, and everything, because it's so common. And the people who deal with it, myself included, feel like we can't talk about it, and like nobody is listening to us, because so many of us are scared to even like mention it. It's like not a thing, and there's a whole stigma surrounding mental illness, and it's just, I just want to try and normalize it here. And I just want to let all of you know that it's okay to deal with mental illness. It's just as important to talk about as physical illness, in my opinion. And also, I do want to take this time to say to any of you who are dealing with depression and like really bad major depression, I just want you to realize first that you aren't alone, even though I know, I know, because I have been going through this for like 10 years now. The depression. I know you have heard over and over again, like, oh, you're not alone, you're like, you got this, like truly, like, listen to me from someone who understands, someone who's been like at rock bottom multiple times, almost been to the hospital, almost called an ambulance to come and get her because she thought she was going to end up killing herself, even though she was so afraid to call an ambulance because she's terrified of it. hospitals and anything medical and people restraining her and anything. She was literally that scared. Honestly, depression is so common. It is so unbelievably common. And feeling that bad, feeling so bad, like you just don't want to even wake up anymore. You don't know what to do with your life anymore. That's common too. That is so common. So something people don't want to talk about. I mean, obviously, that is so hard, it's so difficult, but please, just know you aren't alone. I totally understand you. And I know that you are strong, especially if you feel like you're really at rock bottom at this very moment. You don't know what to do. You don't want to go on. You're thinking about hurting yourself or whatever. Know that you are strong, and know that these horrible feelings, these awful feelings they're a cycle. Depression is a cycle. They're not going to be there forever. If you just give yourself some time, somehow, some way, those feelings, those thoughts, they will go away. When I'm in that state, I've had those kinds of thoughts so many times that I can't even count how many times I've dealt with feeling like I wanted to hurt myself, feeling suicidal. And what helped me the most, and what I learned from my therapist, that in that moment, you have to just stop yourself. You have to consciously stop. Take a breath and distract yourself. Do something else. Something that you enjoy. Like for me, it's like singing. I'll turn on my favorite music and I'll just sing and sing. I'll sing for hours even. Something to distract yourself, something that comforts you, that makes you feel good inside, whatever it is. For me, it's singing. Maybe for you, it's like video games, or like going outside and reading a book, or going and petting your cat or your dog, or calling someone on the phone and talking to them and telling them you're having a really hard time. Give it 15 minutes or so and see if those horrible thoughts are still there. If they're still there, that's when you need to get help from somebody. And if you do need to get help from somebody, you need to realize that you feeling that way is not your fault. And I know there are people who say that feeling like that or wanting to hurt yourself or kill yourself is selfish, and believe me, I know and I understand that it is not selfish. Absolutely not. Because people who haven't dealt with those thoughts don't understand that when you are in that state, you're not rationally thinking. You're irrationally thinking in your head that that is the way to better other people's lives. That is the only thing to do. That is how you're going to help other people. And the people who haven't dealt with that don't understand that. And that's why they say that it's selfish. They don't understand where that thought's coming from. Believe me, it's not. But in that moment, if you tell somebody you really need help, and you really are afraid and you don't know what to do anymore, they are going to do what they can to help you. If you call someone you know you trust, someone you know you love and they love you back, they're going to help you. They're going to try and help you. Believe me, you have the strength, the power in you to stop those thoughts. Because you have to remember, those thoughts do not control you. You control those thoughts. And the hard part is getting to the point where you can tell those thoughts, no, like, I'm not gonna do this today. I'm not gonna do this. I have power over you and you're not going to take control of me. And it's difficult, and I understand how difficult it is. I'm with you, I understand you. You are a strong, strong person. Believe me, you are absolutely strong. If you weren't strong, you wouldn't be getting help. You wouldn't be trying to take control of these feelings. You wouldn't be even admitting to yourself that something is wrong if you weren't strong. And I know you can do this. You've got it in you. You deserve it. You deserve to feel better. You deserve happiness. And you deserve help. You do. I know you may not believe that now. Believe me, when you're not in that state, when you get past that, that's something you can tell yourself. Because I know deep down, you know that. You got it. You can do it. And I believe in you. So, that was a little different. I will have some kind of fun video up for y'all at some point. I want to thank you guys so much for staying with me. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you think about what I've talked about. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you again. Have a lovely day.